Warning, the following audio may contain some foul language and some spoilers, so this may not be suitable for a younger audience. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to the second episode of the PodDouken podcast. I am here with last streamer and Christian.
Hey,
how you doing?
In today's episode, we're going to have a discussion and review of a classic anime. Usually, Old Duck here is very knowledgeable with these classics, but sadly he's not here with us. So we're going to try the best of our knowledge and abilities to talk and review this series properly.
we don't need.
Yeah, we really don't.
We got this.
You say it's old school, but it's really not that old school for us.
It's like mid-90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also the new series came out.
Yeah, it's kind of well known.
Yeah.
In today's episode, we're reviewing Evangelion. I might have said this wrong, but sorry, excuse my accent.
Let me rephrase that. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yes, Neon Genesis Evangelion, as is known by other people.
Thank you, guys. Now, you see, Evangelion, or Neon Genesis Evangelion, as the guys like to call it, is an anime series from the mid-90s. Well, I understand that it's called Neon Genesis Evangelion, but sometimes it's called Evangelion for short. Okay.
Okay, so to just clarify, we're going over the original Neon Genesis Evangelion. We will be calling it Evangelion for short.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Neon Genesis Evangelion is an anime series from the mid-90s about these teenagers that fight alien war machines with their very own alien war machines. I remember watching this anime when I was a child. At the first look, I thought that this would be similar or just like Gundam Wing.
How wrong you were.
How old were you again?
I was 7.
And you saw like episode exactly?
I think I saw the first episode. It probably looked like the Toonami super edited version, but
This is the one where
it was like still freaking out
Yeah.
for me at the time.
Where he gets into the sports car with his guardian and they drive off.
Yeah. However, as I progressed through the first episode, I saw some blood and gore. Near the end, that literally made me shit my pants.
Yes, it does get pretty horrifying. DVDs themselves list the first few episodes as 14, and the later ones as TVMA.
Yes, it is.
But, however, like, on that following evening, I was too terrified to watch that show. However, like, I got back into it 2 years ago during my college years, and because I was always, like, thinking about, like, you know, how did the series end? How did the series continued? All that curious thoughts rolled to my head that got me back into the series and made me, like, you know, stay with it and officially finish it.
Good choice.
Yeah, it gave me rejoice, basically.
It made you
Now,
evangelical?
now from what I've witnessed throughout the entire series, Evangelion has some good mecha action with a bit of a psychological twist. I believe that this classic, my personal opinion, is unique in its own way, and that will be passed down through generations to come. What do you two guys think?
Well, I first started watching Evangelion back when I was, let's say, in the 6th grade.
Really?
I happened to come upon it. I happened to come upon it when a friend of mine suggested it to me, and at first I was like, "What is this? I have no idea what you're talking about." So that night I went over to his house and we ended up just binge watching like the first 3 discs on DVD, so we just binge watched those the entire night, and by the morning I was hooked. I've been a long-time follower of Evangelion, and I just thought it was a pretty amazing show. I mean, it talks about a lot of different subjects, like, transition from childhood into adulthood, the fears that you have to face in order to get through life, and like a whole bunch of different other issues that are not as important for me right now because I can't think of them. But yeah, basically the story is about a boy named Shinji Ikari who was, let's say, abandoned by his father, lived with his aunt and uncle, and after his father met with an unfortunate accident. When he became 14, his father finally called upon him to come back to him so that he could use him in a secret program known as the Evangelion Project. Thank you. At first, he was unsure of what to do. He really did not want to see his father. At the same time, he did want to see him. He was a very timid young man. He did not really have a good childhood growing up. I mean, his aunt and uncle did provide for him as best they could, but he just never felt loved. And it's just basically him trying to find out who the hell he is, as well as his other friends that he meets later on in the series trying to figure out who the hell they are.
You want me to take it from here? All right. You just get in here. So, I first heard about Evangelion when I was 14 years old in Shinji, coincidentally. Basically, I heard about it while I was actually watching Code Geass, of all things. Other anime, pretty good. Basically, someone in the comment section of YouTube mentioned how Code Geass is basically the new Evangelion. You know, after watching the series, I can tell you that is not true. But nevertheless, I was intrigued, so I did just had to check it out through streaming, illegal streaming. I do not recommend it. I have since purchased the series to, pick up from men's for, doing that. Anyways, first I wasn't exactly hooked on it, but at least around the 4th or 6th episode, I was immediately hooked, and I watched it, all the way till the end. And along the way, it just became much more interesting, like with every episode, to the point where it started from this, basic, shonen anime with a psychological twist to something much more, like something unconventional, something that had never been done before. Like, it comes to the point where you basically know everything about these characters, like why they act as, all their motivation. You feel for them, you relate to them, cry with them. They're almost like real people.
It's true.
Coupled with, themes of like, depression, social anxiety, adulthood, like you mentioned. It has become, I can say it's, without hesitation, my favorite anime series ever.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just, I guess I could relate to it so well because, like I said, I was the same age as Shang-Chi when the series came out. And, well, not when it came out, when I started watching it. And I was just in a dark place in my life. I had no friends. It was, aw, thanks guys. But like I said, the series, made me realize I needed to change myself, and I guess it made me, it alleviated my fear of basically going to therapy. Sorry, I'm talking about all this depressing stuff right now, but
It's not depressing, it's just interesting to me.
Of course it's interesting to you.
I'm not a psych major, but I'm just thinking, this actually, you're right, this goes pretty well, like, for people who do...
Basically,
go ahead.
Sorry. But basically, yes, it allowed me to seek therapy, realize that it wasn't, a bad thing, or, like, something that, should have a stigma to it. Made me want to better myself as a person, and also, self-analyze myself every now and then. But, besides that, the action's good, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking about all, the deep stuff about it, but yeah. I mean, it's not just that, it's just the action, the characters. The animation, in the later episodes, does get, a little slack because, the budget did start running out in the middle, and then eventually it just went full circle with the last 2 episodes where they just reused
everything,
all the animation from previous episodes.
And there's a lot of white screen.
Lots of white screen, lots of black screen, pencil
colors.
inks. But in its own way, it made it in a way unique. So I mean,
one thing I want to say is about the action is that I loved it. I think it was one of the first mech series I ever seen where the robots use like these small knives to take down these alien war machines.
Notice the angels.
Yes.
The angels as they are called in the series. And I found it really interesting because like comparing it to Gundam uses like all these laser swords, these giant assault rifles. But in Evangelion they do use guns, but they also use like daggers and blades and like tiny knives and stuff like that, which I found that pretty cool.
They wanted to portray the mecha as basically soldiers.
Yeah.
More than like actual futuristic robots, which I found interesting.
And they do look like soldiers. They do look like actual, like, to me they look like cybernetic humanoid creatures.
Which in a way they pretty much are.
Yeah, they pretty much are.
They're gonna have their own to think about it.
What I find interesting was how realistic they tried to make the science behind those things, the mechas that these teenagers ride. How they have like the wire attached to their backs that they needed there, or else
cords.
The extension cord.
I think this is
which reminds me of those like old school like car racing shit from Family Dollar.
I think we can safely say this is the only mecha anime where the machines themselves are plugged in.
Yeah,
with
plugged in
extension cords.
With like extension cords, so it kept reminding me of those ghetto toy cars where I press a button and it's like attached to a wire to the car.
Yeah, and the track that's already set down.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. So every time I see that, I'm just laughing at it, at how ridiculous, but how they try to make it look so cool at the same time.
And they succeeded. I would say that they definitely succeeded in that.
Yeah.
And so that I always got a kick out of that one. And also I got a kick out of the characters. Shinji is indeed a wimp, but he always tries to man up, even though he still fails at being a wimp at the end. And then you have that one character who is part German,
Asuka Langley Soyu.
Yes.
My favorite character.
What's her
Probably mine
name?
as well.
Asuka Langley Soyu.
Plus my favorite character as well.
Oh my god. She is indeed a fucking tsundere. She is the true definition of a tsundere. The original tsundere.
Thank you very much.
She is pure queen tsundere. Every time I see her bitch at the smallest things, I laugh so hard.
Part German, part Japanese. You can't get any more, angry than that.
Oh man.
Recipe for disaster. Not just kidding, of course, but yes.
I always got a kick out of those characters because they show some really good emotion that played into the story really well, instead of just having main characters act and talk and walk like robots.
Yeah, at least like you're saying with Oscar earlier, she does a lot, but it's all backed by backstory and motivation, which makes you understand why they act that way.
Basically, she is the result of a mother wanting a child and not being able to find a man. So, what's the next logical idea? Just go to the sperm bank and get the smartest, guy's sperm and get impregnated with it. But unfortunately, that was not enough for her mother, and she went through so much depression and craziness that she was locked up in an asylum, where Asuka was raised by her, I guess you could call it a surrogate mother and father.
That's kind of like the manga backstory you're talking about, right?
Talking about the manga and the real one too.
I believe in the anime, her mother was
was
one of the test pilots for.
Was she?
Yes. 'Cause
Alright.
Remember in Evangelion, she finds her mother's soul within Eva.
Oh, that's right, she did.
So yeah, that test star for the Eva 2 kind of made her insane as well.
Yeah, what was it? So, as a result, she was raised by other people in the manga. But there's a part in both the manga and in the anime where Asuka goes to the hospital as a young girl, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 years old, to see her mother, and she's so excited just to see her, and as soon as she goes to the window where her mother's room is, she sees that she is talking to a small rag doll and calling it Asuka, and at that point she never wants to see her mother again. It was a very sad moment, and it kind of pushed Asuka into the direction of being tough, self-reliant, and just pretty much badass.
Yeah, basically Asuka wanted to prove to her mother that she was the real Asuka, better than that doll she kept calling Asuka. So the day she finally became an Eva pilot, she wanted to show her mom this new rank that she'd been given. She's the happiest day of her life. And she goes to the hospital, turns out her mother hung herself in her own insanity, as well as the doll.
That's right, the doll was hanging right next to her.
Being the final nail in the coffin, piloted her into where she is now, unfortunately.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm getting distracted right now. She like I said, my favorite character. She has, besides Shinji, the darkest backstory for any of the Eva pilots, with Rei being the mystery, who is later found out to be not only the clone of Shinji's mother, who had passed away in the early Eva experiments, but also
Part of Lilith.
Yes, part of Lilith, which is
The creature that spawned humans, while Adam was the creature that spawned the angels.
Yes.
And it should be noted that because of Rei's doll-like attitude, that's the reason why Asuka despises her so much.
Yes.
But astonishes me about this anime is how much they put a bit of Christian ideology into this series. They took a piece of a Christian belief and create an entire series around that idea.
The ideology is definitely there.
Like Ancient Aliens, if you think about it.
The symbols, however, is a different story. And the reason why they put there is not that big of a deal actually. The reason why they put them there, the creators said themselves, was they wanted it to look cool.
It's true.
They thought the symbols looked cool, so that's why they put them in there.
Very true.
Nothing really deep to that, but the ideology, yes, that they did do research on that.
And a lot of fans did more research on it and just
A little more than they should have.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the real aspect of the series.
Which is about growing up.
Yeah. So yes, Evangelion. I know I'm keep pronouncing it wrong. Excuse my accent again, audience. I guess other characters besides Shinji would be his dad. His dad is the perfect example of a real douchebag father. He's a total grade A douchebag dad, the asshole. I feel bad for Shinji because he always tries so hard to impress his dad. His dad doesn't notice him, and he's like, "Senpai, please notice me."
That's screw off.
Basically.
The reason why you're dead.
I love you, Shinji. I've always loved you. Is that what you wanted to hear? Because you're not going to get it from me.
Ironically, he was the one who was also running away from Shinji.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve Shinji's love. Well, the only person that Shinji was actually running to was his father.
Yeah.
It's so tragic.
It is really tragic.
It's so-
Wow. Maybe that's why I love this anime so much, because I am just drawn to tragic things. It's been brought up by a few of my friends before that tragedy and me just go together so perfectly.
Yeah, pretty much all of us, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to, keep myself, from falling apart and, keep my dignity together, but thank you, Chris Fortune.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
That made sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry's not gonna cut it, sir. I'm just kidding. So yes. Oh man. What other things? I mean, the action's cool. Like the whole scene where they were at the battleship and they were fighting this one angel in underwater.
Asuka's first appearance.
Yeah.
Hopscotch battle. Jumping on all the ships one to another.
Yeah.
Destroying them in the process, as like the sailors were saying.
Yeah. And it was like the most douchiest thing, but it looked really cool.
Don't give a shit.
Asuka gives 0 shits. She just takes what she wants.
She gives 0 fucks, dude.
To be fair,
Period.
they had it coming by naming one of their ships Over the Rainbow.
That is true. Oh my god. They did name it Over the Rainbow.
Oh man, that takes me back. Oh man.
Another fight that I loved, bit corny, but also at the same time, was the synchronized dance fight.
Oh my god, the dance of the crane.
Yes.
The only way you could
that
defeat
was
the Devil
good.
Angel.
Mm-hmm. By playing some sort of made-up DDR, they were come into perfect sync with each other, Shinji and Asuka.
Shinji
That
keeps
was
screwing up.
that was a mean, intense DDR. Like I kid you not, man.
Oh yeah, Asuka was out for blood whenever Shinji screwed up.
Yeah, she was. Was she always out for blood?
Yeah, but
She's
she
not towards everyone.
She wants out for blood, but she wants Shinji, like as in more than a friend.
Yes.
She wants the D.
She wants him to acknowledge her,
She wants Senpai to notice her.
but he keeps pushing him away.
Or she pushing herself?
Oh.
Deep. You're deep. Yes.
Aside from the Evangelion conspiracy series, what other parts did you like from this entire series?
I love the mecha design, the design of the Evas, and the when they revealed the final Eva. That was a pretty big shocker for me, actually. I did not see that coming.
Which one? Oh, the mass-produced ones?
The kid, seeing as humans being the final angels.
Yeah. Humans being sort of like
The-
18th angel.
Yes.
That's more of like a translation error, actually.
Oh.
Humans actually. Yeah. Something to note that End of Evangelion, the dub has a few translation errors. It was done by Manga Entertainment, a separate company. It was not really the 18th angel. They're just spawned from Lilith,
Who is
the second angel, but
Yes.
basically they're just something different entirely. Like I said, like
their subspecies.
subspecies. Yes. There is a lot of mythology relating to Adam and Lilith that is unfortunately covered in some Japanese-only expanded material,
I can help you out with that.
but it is available online.
Yes.
If you can find it.
Basically, in Hebrew mythology, Lilith was Adam's first wife, and Adam was the first man on earth. Before Eve came around, it was just Adam and her, and it came to a point where they were going to have intercourse, and Lilith refused to be the person on the bottom. Because of this, she left the garden, and God punished her by
Right.
turning her into I'm not sure, I might be wrong on that part by turning her into it, but I think he turned her into a demon.
Oh.
And in Hebrew mythology, she is the creature that stalks the night and will sneak into people's houses and take children away from them, their parents, and devour them, or feed them to her own children, which is a little weird that they would thinking that, saying that Lilith is the partial creator of humans.
Yes, the creator for partial.
The thing about it kind of makes sense too, seeing as like how warmongering she was, and how warmongering the human race is. And
Both of them are actually more warmongering because the idea is that the Japanese expanded material, the first ancestral race, like the first galaxy, sent the spears of Longinus out to two plot devices that can completely kill an angel to Earth. They weren't supposed to go to Earth, at least not both of them. They had to be sent to different planets in order to keep their race going.
onto Venus and to Earth.
Yeah, because two of them went to Earth, that caused the angels and humans to coexist with each other. So that's what happened.
Wait, I thought it was supposed to be Venus and Mars, and Earth was the human planet.
Well,
And it
Earth
got screwed up.
just happened to be the human planet, and the angels ended up on Earth by accident.
All right.
The Lance of Longinus is used to reset one of them from existing one over the other.
Now, 11 years later, I'm learning new things about it.
Yeah, right.
It's like one of those series where the more you watch it and study it carefully and observantly, you learn more and more things about it, and you start to create these massive theories in your head. And I have to agree, I have a few theories in my head about the entire situation of Evangelion and how I believe things went down. But the message at the end is still clear as glass of what it's supposed to represent and mean to the people who watch it. Any final thoughts?
Evangelion rules, buy their stuff, buy their products, and support them, because they have kind of, in a way, supported you throughout your childhood if you are our age.
I'm trying to find the mecha action figures of Evangelion. I'll probably find them in a anime convention somewhere.
You can always find them.
They're still making the products for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna die anytime soon.
Nope.
One of Japan's biggest anime cash cows.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the remakes they made.
Yeah.
Still going too.
Yeah.
Still wait for that final movie.
Have any of you seen the remakes?
Oh yeah.
I have the first one, second one, but I have not seen the third one yet.
Oh, you haven't seen the third one yet?
No, I have not.
Third one.
I haven't seen the third one either.
Goes down.
All right, I have to wait for that one. I don't
Yeah,
have anymore.
I won't tell you anymore because you have to see it.
Alrighty then. So thank you guys for listening to the PodDouken podcast. I am Freddy the Nerdy.
I'm the last streamer.
And I'm Chris 4chan.
And
Just Chris Chan.
okay.
Thank you guys for, making me think I'm someone else.
No problem, bud.
And please stay tuned for the next following episode where me and Christian are going to discuss some anime news. If you're interested in keeping yourself updated with our next following episodes, please be sure to subscribe and visit our website at PodDouken.weebly.com. You can also find the link to our website at the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.